Uh-huh. I fixed it. That works. Hope to God it stays working. Okay. I did not fix that. And we're supposed to go to sound mixer, aren't we? Settings. Output. Audio. Desktop audio. That means I need to go add another. Go. Yeah, that's my best bet on how to fix that, but for some reason, it's still not making sense. So you know what we're gonna do in that case? We're gonna wonder why there's nothing here. Not right now. We're gonna go back to opening up the Iron Harvest. There we go. Okay, so we have not talked about several of these maps, have we? I don't actually remember which ones we didn't talk. See how I can get myself to record, honestly. Okay. We did not talk about Urban Paradise and Dark Forest. Where is a notepad so I can write this down and oh snap. We need Urban Forest and then the two new ones. Let us begin. Let's start with Urban. Draw. Control this. Okay, it's not gonna work. Okay. So there is iron crates. Let's do the grenades first. So usually you want to send your engineer, get grenade. Oop. Hard way then. Resource crate, oil. Iron mine, resource crate, resource crate, iron mine, oil. Is always an opening that you can do on this one. Now this is like a super resource greedy opening. Okay, this is just too big of a handwriting for my liking. Just gonna okay. Oh yes, much nicer. But you could also do a very aggressive resource node opening on urban, because it's genuinely a lot harder to steal someone's nades. You can go here, here. Here. Back. Group. Resource crate. Resource crate. Here you'll prefer the oil. No. We're gonna go over maps so people can have, you know, some nice openings. So right here, for this resource heavy, or the resource node heavy, you're being much more aggressive for resource nodes and resource crates by far. Because there's an iron crate here. Iron crate here, but you don't really care for the crates. You just kind of want a resource node. Just put a resource. Look into my DMs. Okay, I got you. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you're up to. I promise you, if you found out how many it would be on the freaking rate. Oh! Better scaled map. It is much better scaled. But this is for the guide, but I like your map. Do you have more by chance? Or wait, did you go to the giant in-game map thing for this? I might just have to go do that. For later reference. Resource node. Heavy. I did clone up for that one. I get you. I would hit clone up too for that. Air bug testing? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I understand that. So then this orange would be after the initial open. So we're just gonna put after initial open. There are flamers right here. Typically, it's okay to send your engineer that built your barracks. So after you build your barracks, you can send your engineer to go get the flamer and start harassing here. Actually, you know what? Let's change what this thing says so it really logically makes sense here, because I don't want to be telling people to do stupid crap and then be the reason that they did stupid crap. Ooh, show me your path and I'll take a look at it. Okay. That sounds good now. Okay. So the reason I say the flamer is okay on this map is because you can do some crazy amount of pressure on the enemy on this map with flamers. You can pressure them into actually paying attention. You can kind of just, you know, be a distraction long enough for you to take a point, or let's do this better. Or instead of attacking there, you know, you could just come over here and use it to harass this point. You know, kind of just force you, be aggressive but not too aggressive. You know your limits. If this is not a good idea for you, don't even worry about the flamer. Fighting the flamers will almost always get you killed. If you're actually fighting with flamers and against flamers will almost always get you killed if you're not ready for it, or you're not at that, you know, you're not comfortable with using them. Because flamers alone can usually hold a position if the enemy doesn't, like, you know, go in for melee or come in with two squads. Two squads, it gets a little dicey because if they start meleeing you, there's a pretty good chance you'll lose the flamers unless you retreat way before half health. However, if you're fighting somebody and they just have one squad, you're usually good, because even if they do melee you, flamers are the highest melee out of all the infantry, I believe. It's great. It's 10 out of 10 experience for most players. Genuinely triggers a lot of people, though. If you're pull, let's do a little pull on you. thing. Because Polania here plays a little bit different. We're just going to come over here and put Polania. Oh. It's still better to melee them instead of doing a shoot off. Yeah, it's always better to melee a flamer than actually try to shoot it off unless you're going to micro that battle. And if you plan on microing it, that's a lot of extra work. Yeah, I had to fix the stream, okay, clone? I messed it up. I couldn't connect the art pad, but now I got the art pad working. So if you're Polania, this would be one of my favorite openings, I should say. This is a really bad green for this. So you know what? We're gonna find a better green. This is just far too bright for me. Okay. Polania. Now this is a bit more iffy, you know, a bit more of a excite trip. But you want to go for this flag. This flag, if you hold this flag early on enough as Polania, you'll get the resource bleed, or not the resource bleed, the VP bleed pretty well. Because you have riflemen have range that can cover from this cover on the sides here. So if you get that center VP, you can just kind of camp one rifle there for most of the game unless they do one crazy push for it. And if they do a crazy push for it, you push everywhere other on the map, or you just go fight them and take them out, usually. Because getting stuck here in between all this cover is just bad news. So, if you were to be Polania, you know, boom, boom. We're going to do a very stereotypical opening here with Polania. Because you can kind of mix and match all of the other two openings, this opening and this opening. But with the Polanian one, this is generic, is just going to be easier to help explain. Now you kind of just come here, you get your nade, you get your oil, get your resource crates, you fight for flag. But whenever you get here, you go here instead, and then you kind of just start contesting flags. You pretty much essentially just hold your side of the map and contest the flags. And if you mix this with the flamer, like if you get good enough, you know, with like if you get comfortable enough with the generic opening of like this map, then you can start throwing flamers into your Polania mix whenever you build another engineer to go capture it. Always build engineers to capture any crate on the map, because sending a rifleman to pick up a grenade, stupid. Sending a rifleman to pick up flamers, stupid. And I say stupid because, like, I just want everyone to understand how bad it is. If you reduce your fighting power or trade it off equally, you're not actually helping yourself. I mean, it does no harm, but it does no good either. And here you kind of necessarily always want to be doing better firearm-wise. Like, more weapons genuinely does better on the field than having less weapon. But that will be Urban Paradise. Emphasis on center flag. You kind of just want to rush for it. It's not easy to read there, is it? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. We're going to save this. Desktop. Oh, that really did not. Iron Harvest. Maps 1v1. Okay, next map, shall we? My music stopped again. Kind of sad. I'm still waiting. Sireals. Fuck, I did it again. For your little pathing. Okay, now we do, what was the next map? Forest. We do Dark Forest. Oh, you actually sent it. Okay. Boom. So, Polania / Usonia. Oh, fantastic. Do you mind if I add this to my guide? Because it's a bit more simple to read than some of mine. Maybe on. I don't think so. I don't think there's still a bug on air. Oh, fantastic. Hell yeah. I'm going to use his thing. We're going to give him credit for this. We'll go put it on ink or something in a moment. So, contest, yes. 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 I like it. Third engineer. Barracks. Iron. Oh, I like that one. Second engineer. So you actually have, you queue up, or you build 2 engineers at the start. Oh, yes, the building hop. That is something we should have talked about. We're going to go back to that, actually, because you just said that. So, on this map, right here and right here, you can building hop. And building hopping it just makes it go a lot faster. It's going to take a little bit for most people to get comfortable with and get into the groove of doing. But once you start doing building hop on urban, you kind of get places faster. And you can essentially kind of cut off people and mess with people's infantry a lot. Because if you attack someone's infantry and they do a building hop, it cancels all following. I should do that. You know what? We'll just go write it in right now. How about that? We'll make this one look better so it actually helps people understand. Boop. Open up. We're gonna need the original map because I do not remember where all this stuff is. Okay, let's do this. So if we come over here, we do draw. We'll put everything in a color you didn't use. So let's do white. And I don't know about Rust and Saxony. I don't play them this much. Oh, so Rust and Saxony is kind of the more generic opening on urban. You don't want to get too stuck up in being aggressive, because being too aggressive with Rust and Saxony on this map, genuinely you get punished for it pretty hard. Unless you can, micro the engagements well enough. But even then, sometimes the micro is just not enough. Ooh, that is far too big for my liking. We're just gonna... So we're just gonna come over here and put... Okay, well now we're just writing with an eraser. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna write flag. We're just gonna write it out. We're just gonna use words. Flag. 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 Oil. Is oil right here? Yeah. Oil. Building hopping. We'll write that in somewhere. Iron. 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 Oil. Oh my gosh, it's just... Okay, there we go. There we go. That is essentially it. So, right here, right here. Building hop. I'm just gonna put... No, actually, we're gonna make this look nicer because I want to give you better credit. So we're gonna put... I should have probably explained better on how to do this, but I'm kind of just going with the assumption that people know you're supposed to go for weapon crates with engineers. I should definitely make that more apparent though, because I can definitely see where it gets confused. Okay. Let us move on to the next map, which is arguably one of the harder ones, because this one I genuinely cannot show more than 2 openings for a position because they're different on both sides. Let's get to it. Okay. Draw. So we're going to start with the initial colors here. Do not remember where the grenade is. Okay, so it's the doomed force. Okay, yeah. Okay, this one gets kind of complicated because right here is the nade. Okay, we have got to stop doing this. Oh, thank you, Slapchop. I love the name, because it reminds me of those slap chops that like people used to advertise on TV. Oh my god, those are so good. I love those commercials. Oh, thank you so much, Sireals. So here are your grenade. I can give you a better map, perhaps. Clone, if you send me better maps of all maps, that would be dope as hell. But for now, I'm gonna keep doing this. You cheesy? Bro? Yes. Cheesy as hell. Oh, actually, there are some crazy cheesy places you could barbed wire people on this map. So, off record, we're not actually gonna put this on the actual map, but you can barbed wire right here, and it stops the opponent from coming over here. You can barbed wire here, and it stops the opponent from coming here unless they, they throw a grenade or use an engineer. Now, to be even more toxic to a player, if you really want to be a dickhead early on, barbed wire here, here, and here. But make sure you don't barbed wire yourself in. I use barbed wire if I feel like being a dickhead to people, because barbed wire can become toxic as hell. Okay? So, the reason I say barbed wire right here and right here, these two places mess up retreat paths all the time. If you barbed wire someone right here, you'll mess up their retreat path. Barbed wire right here, it doesn't matter. This one is just not a good spot to barbed wire. This one's right here. We'll get rid of this one too. So this is your barbed wire map. Here, great. If you're defending, actually, I should say. If you're coming from this side, barbed wire here. You're coming from this side, barbed wire here and here. You just want to make your opponent hate their life fighting you. If you do that, guaranteed every time you'll emotionally have the win because they'll emotionally give up. Every time. Just know, that's how that works. I barbed wire a guy so much. You think Shamawi Rush will stop me? I'll barbed wire everywhere. If someone does have a light mech that walks through it though, whole plan to ruin. But most players will not do this because infantry too good, Lamau. Little did they know, infantry does fall off after a point. But now we'll get back to the actual opening. So I'm gonna mimic you because I liked what you did. I think Coastal also has some top. Oh, we're getting there. Still, do not worry. There's resource crates here. You're gonna want to pick up the little resource crate here at the oil. You're gonna pick up the resource crate next to this iron mine, and then the iron mine, and then flag. Generic opening. Now, if you were from the other side, say that you're orange. If you're orange, now if you're orange, let's just do this right here. Don't load me right now. So if you're orange, I did this wrong, didn't I? Yes, I did. The grenade crate will be... Fuck me. The grenade crate will be like right here. You're going to want to pick up that grenade every time. You can kind of rush for here or go for here. You know what? We're going to put dotted line for the ore. So, because this is a bit more controversial of what you should do after in this spot. Because you could go and contest this and get the oil crate and the gunners. Or you can go here and then contest here. Can you just do the rush mid expand to the side of Saxony? Let me just do blue real quick so I can show you what would happen with that. So say you rush here, right? Okay, you know what? This is gonna get far too convoluted because I'm gonna start messing up all my beautiful lines. So, boop, boop, boop. I'm just gonna draw super elongated. If you were to rush Saxony and go for this whole side here, it would not play out too well. If you get me all the maps, clone, you'll become a god in my eyes. I will work with everything else perfectly. Because rushing this whole side of Saxony, as beautiful as it might seem, it falls short if you start losing this little area. Like, if you can hold this whole side and the Iron Mine and flag down here while still being able to contest with the enemy, great for you. 100% guaranteed plan. But usually, if you're Saxony, you're usually fighting Polania, Usonia, and Rusviet on this map, who all, for some reason, have a much better advantage than you. Because, you know, smaller mechs fit in tighter areas, so Koloko can fit in most areas, and beats Isegrim and Grimbart. You can have Polania, who builds Shimawis that runs through the little areas, Strasniks that can stop your infantry. It's just a whole cluster fuck of infantry. Infantry and light mechs will dominate Dark Forest usually. If you start getting heavier mechs of Saxony, do not push along. I mean, you could push along the sides. I don't want to say it's a bad idea, but it's not always the best idea. If you do push along the sides, you have to be dedicated to your push. Like, infantry needs to be doing a flank while your mechs push up, because any type of field cannon on this map that typically has like longer range area, like right here or along these sides, will become just the biggest fucking problem in the world. Yes. So that's actually exactly what we were talking about here with Orange. You could rush Gunner Crate while your other units are coming here, captures the Resource Crate, the Iron Mine, goes for... Shit, that looks like an ugly line. We didn't care enough, you know. We could just give you guys ugly maps. They come over here, get the Resource Crate, flag, contest. While your other dude is coming over here, he gets the Resource Crate, Iron Mine, oil. He's going to be contested, though. We should put this as well. Or they're going to come over here and contest. If someone contests you for your oil, that's just rude, but it's not a bad idea. You could also try to, you know, you could try to contest with somebody here, but they have the they had like the length advantage. Now, my personal favorite strategy to do here is just be toxic. Just be toxic. This map emphasizes being toxic. If you can be toxic on this map, why ever be toxic on any other map? And for those wondering, the reason I put for this player is because on this map at least, the two sides are different enough to where they actually kind of are... They're kind of too different in approaches, but that's okay. Check. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, Clone, you're an absolute Jesus. Okay, we'll use those maps for later on whenever I kind of redo the maps. We'll redo the maps at some point. That goes to Kurt. Thank you, Kurt, wherever you are. You're great. I love those maps so much. Okay. Honestly, it's kind of hard to do anything other than a really generic opening on this map, just because of how, well, close-knit, confined it is. It's not really in... With air units, it kind of gets more difficult, but we're doing openings for now, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, now we can go steal all the toxic early cutoff points of this map that I love and adore to my heart. So, as we did before, we're going to show just an early wire off map to show toxicity. You can wire here and here. Easy mind. Yep, super easy. You just cut off that whole island after you captured that flag. You could wire here, and you can wire here, and you can wire here, and you can wire here. Those are all okay spots to wire. This one is probably the most toxic area to wire up on the island. My bad, I didn't show my mouse. Because this stuff right here gets a little emotional. Like, if you're fighting Usonia, it doesn't matter because they can just do paratroopers. But if you're fighting Saxony, Rusviet, or Polania, Oh, this is the biggest dickhead strategy you can do. I love it. It is supreme mind games. It's very annoying. What I find also pretty annoying is that you can somehow wire right here. If you're really dedicated, you could wire right here and piss off everybody that plays this map. Oh, yeah, you mean this spot up here on the island right at this blue blob? When your enemy gets double grenade. Honestly, dropship, that is very true. That is very true. At least there's a dropship. But are you really going to want to do that type of, like, investment later on in the game? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Delete toxicity real quick so nobody can say it was us. Yeah, it is kind of a massive waste of resources. Like, if you get it early enough, it's great. Because that thing can tank, and as it vets up, it gets tankier. It's wonderful. Oh, yes, what? Okay, if you mean the wire, for anybody that wants to know the most toxic way to, Sireal redeem snacks. Okay, I actually got new snacks again. I don't remember where I put them, though, this time. But it's okay. We have chip. Coming at you with popcorns. Popcorners. Kettle corn chips. So, like I was saying, if you really want to be toxic here with sandbags, what you can do is you do sandbag and then wire. Not in this exact location, but if you put sandbags in front of the wire, it's just stupid. You have to use a grenade to destroy it. I think it just turrets them out. If you want to be toxic with snacks, what you do is you put wasabi inside the snacks. Like if someone like gives you like a greenish type snack and they're like, oh, it's so healthy. You put wasabi on that crap and you give it right on back to them. You don't just put a little bit, you put a lot. Or you replace their toothpaste with wasabi. Dickhead strategies. Okay. Let us. Okay, I will binge eat these. Wasabi only makes it better if the person can't handle heat. Or, you just go ruin all the rest of their food. Okay. So for openings as yellow, what I usually do is... God dang it. Okay. We should just, like, somehow change this to be the standard at 5. What we do is we come over here, we get the iron. We say, fuck the oil. Actually, that's a lie. That is a big lie. We get wherever the resource crate is, and then we go contest oil. But with our engineer, we go straight for this, and we barb wire. With my other rifleman, I get this. I get oil, and I contest. Because on this map, grenade is right here. I am so sorry if my handwriting is bad for you. No. We're getting there. We're getting there, actually. So, HMG. MG. We're going to rewrite this one so people can actually understand me. G. So, with my next engineer, my second engineer, this is the one map I build like 3. I actually don't contest the middle until later on. I'll show you why in just a moment. I'll show you why. For me, at least, it just messes with my head. So with your second engineer, first built NG, I go for HMG, bring right here on the flag. With my third engineer, I build barracks. We're just going to put a circle here. You build your barracks. And then I go and contest for the grenade again. Because contesting for grenades is the funniest thing to see people freak out about. And sometimes people will surrender. But if you don't want to do that path, you can actually just come over here. We're just going to make sure people know that this is optional. Optional path. If you can force an opponent to constantly be in engagements and, you know, kind of just cause bleed wherever you can, it helps you later on as long as you're not taking as much bleed as they are. If you can get both grenades on this map, you're golden, right? Sometimes I like to wire off this part of the top part of the map. What I do is I wire here, and then I go and get grenades. And then I capture the flag. And then I just keep that one unit there the entire game. I just completely act like he doesn't exist. But now if you're orange, we're going to show the other pathing, or the other idea that I do, which is a little bit more complicated. Because I still go for the island. My openings almost always require going for one side, but I'll show you some more dedicated ones. So you contest for top. NG. You contest for iron. You go for oil. Iron. Flag. Contest. Yes, actually, the walk distance is technically the same for both sides on this map. So technically it's kind of fair game on whoever gets there first and gets the thing. And kind of, it's more or less whoever starts moving towards it first will get there. Yes, they did. The other one is completely messed up. Is orange technically closer? Damn. They've never stopped me, though. Never stopped me. So this is island side heavy. Build barracks. This is with your second NG. Or, well, your first built NG, I should say. First built. We're going to scratch that. Because this is your first built. Both nodes are on the side of orange. Both nodes are on the side. It's honestly not that big of a difference. But it can be noticeable for some players who pay way too much attention to some of this stuff. And I think really clouds their judgment. And then you just kind of like, you know, here you have paths. You can kind of, you know, come over here and contest, or you can kind of bring it over here and contest. Sometimes what I like to do with the HMG, if I know somebody constantly backcaps me, and I'm too lazy to like actually try. Helmuth. Yellenheim. Helmuth. Where do I know your username from? Why do I know where your username is? Why do you seem familiar? Thank you, Kurt Chan. I'm gonna find out who Helmuth is for no reason and challenge him. But here we kind of just get options. You know, you all Lev's friend. That makes sense. You just kind of always want to be trying to contest spots. Now, if you wanted to do the other path, you could do, well, we'll do the bottom side heavy map now. Bottom side, you send your first engineer grenade. That is horribly close. We're just going to put NG. You, of course, do the same opening here. You kind of just rush for the iron. But instead of going for the oil, you go for the flag. Here, you can go here or here. It's kind of harder to contest mountainside, though. Mountainside is definitely rougher. That it is. That it is. HMGs are given on this map. They're also very annoying on this map because of people. We gotta fix this. This does not look like an 8. It looks like an N. There we go. Yellow. Generic gold. This is kind of how I can test these maps. A lot of people like to go bottom heavy though, near mountainside. I don't get why. It's kind of like if you were to fight for this side. I mean, it's easier to get to, you know, the iron mine, to the flag, to the oil. But aside from that, nothing too major, really. Let us save this. We're going to move on to the next map. The next one is kind of a freaking wackadoodle adventure of hatred. Self-hatred mostly. Because this map upsets me. Just a good tad. This one is kind of like Dark Forest. Very, very controversial. Okay, let's go right down where all the needs are. So... Did it again. You have grenade right here. You also have grenade right here. The fact that I remember these is great. I love that. This is where it gets stupid. Your engineer can technically reach this one first before your opponent gets to that grenade, mind you. And you will be able to steal their grenade. You can send a core infantry here. Core infantry there. I like to backwash a little. Which way do they take? Do they go up here and then up? Yeah, it's not a bad map at all. Like I said, it's not the worst map I've ever had. Oh, that is very true. That is very true. Okay, I don't care if it goes over the mountain. But yeah, okay. Okay, I get what you mean. We'll clarify this. You know, you go through the valley, over the mountain, through the city to the grenade. Is that better? Oh yes, there is also AA on this map. AA only attacks the air units though, so don't even worry about it. AA structure. AA structure. I think the AA structure is right here actually, but I think I put the AA structure a little too high. You know what? We're not even going to worry about it. There should be, I believe, AA here. AA here. Honestly, the AA I don't pay attention to too much unless I build air units, which I don't on this map, thank God. Okay, toxicity lesson 101. Since somebody wanted to reference it in chat, you can actually use an Earl right, I believe right here. Is it Earl right here or is it right here? Earl right here can attack someone's HQ. I believe you could do Earl right here as well and hit most of their base, but I'm not entirely sure, or right here. But it works better for if you're on the inside. This player can usually do the Earl thing a lot easier. Just, you know, placement-wise. Second one does not work? Thank you. We're not going to let people know that one for sure, though, because I don't like people doing that. I mean, they can figure it out for themselves and pay the consequences of doing that to me, and I swear to God, I'll freak out on them. But that's besides the point. Here, what I like to do is then I take my first built engineer, my first Engie, and I like to take the oil mine and then come back and build a barracks. Then I come back. You could also technically take your first engineer and deviate and, you know, be a nice person and get your own grenade. But who does that? Who takes their own grenade? Let's be honest. Contest. So the riflemen or the core infantry that you sent to this iron mine will come to this next iron mine. Contest. That is arguably more toxic if you take medkits. I'm not gonna lie. If someone takes medkits against me, I already know what's gonna happen. Already know. You're gonna want to come take this, you know. Work your way across. You know, work your magic. My favorite side to be on is the pocket side, but that is mostly because I like to fight for one side of the map. The entire game. Oh my gosh, barbed wire guide. So, did you know if you barbed wire this, they have to take... If you barbed wire this, the enemy has to go a little path over here. But you can also barbed wire that, delaying. And if you barbed wire here and here, you're a dickhead. Because now this player hates his life. Because contesting this, like if you were to put a bunker right here, a bunker right here shooting here, you just solidified this. Thank you, clone, for noticing my water. There's a reason for this. We're not trying to show people the actual barbed wire, but we are going to show people wire. You could barbed wire someone off of their own flag right here if you really get antsy-pantsy with it. These places right here, the mountainside in between the two players, don't really matter. If you really want to, I've been able to pull off barbed wiring someone into their base for a little bit. Not the easiest one, but can be done. Yeah, no, you can cheese super hard on this map with the nade. It's actually super annoying. I think there's a few too many cheeses you can put here, but they're not all my favorite. I don't want to keep telling people more of my toxic strategies for wire, though, on this map at least. Oh, that is very good. That is something we should definitely say. If you have an engineer, keep in mind you can remove wire. Engineers delete wire. I just want everyone to understand that. If you have an engineer, you can get rid of the wire. If you have a grenade, you can get rid of the wire. Wire is not stuck there the entire game. So if you do stumble across someone who uses cheap wire tactics against you, just take an engineer. It's usually simpler. They don't notice a lot. I mean, there's lots of stuff. Yeah, if you don't throw the grenade at the infantry, so what? At least you got rid of the wire. Worst case scenario, they rebuild the wire and then you just wasted a grenade. Grenades don't cost resources, though. It does take a hot while. Hot while. The ultimate toxic wire. Oh, yes. I already told him. Sandbag. Okay, so if you put sandbags, we're going to do this again. Put sandbags in front of the wire. Engineers cannot get rid of it. You have to use a grenade. Those are for Border River, though. I do that to people on Border River so hard that, like, I would make myself cry. So here... Wow, this is just... You know what? Orange is a horrible color for this map because of the sand. How about this? Does this make this easier? Yes, it does. The problem with this map is almost everything stems. Just use light mechs for fuck's sake. Okay, light mechs do not work in most places of my toxic wiring, though. If you think about it, most of the places I put toxic wiring, it would be stupid to send a light mech over there unless you had a Shmaui. Or what happens is, they just don't fit. Nothing fits in there but infantry. Like right here. Light mechs cannot enter this part. Barbed wire right here. Dickhead energy. Letting everyone know that. Wanted to put that out there. The hidden tech. Oh yeah, if you have weapons teams, yeah, but are you really going to walk a weapons team from this HQ to this flag? You know what? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Kurt, you broke the game. Let's be honest here. This map is actually really one-sided based, isn't it? The more I look at it. This map is actually kind of difficult because I don't know a very good build or I don't know a very good cap order for this map that is actually good for both players. Well, It's more than just one-sided. Let's put it this way. It is a kick straight in the nuts. Mortar time. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this map, if you're in this, okay, if you're in position A and the player's in position B, you have an advantage as player A. Player A has a supreme advantage over player B. Hardcore. If you really want to be more toxic, we're just, you know what, we're just going to go put this in a different color. We'll put it in green because that resembles Polania. If you were to come over here with engineers, let's say, okay, that was a racer. That would have sucked if I started erasing everything. You come over here, you cut the barbed wire. Boom, no more barbed wire. You come over here, you take that. And then you come over here and you take this. Nothing stops you from backcapping this player hardcore. Like, sure, you know, we can say that the orange player can do the same. The orange player can come over here and they can come and contest this too. But they can only contest one oil. Whereas player A contests 2 oils and literally your entire oil production. Like, orange player could arguably come over here and then try to, like, you know, contest over here, but I haven't experimented enough with that to know if that's even a decent idea. It's just, player B is at a really big disadvantage. You're gonna want to hope you're the better player in this if you're in player B. Oh yeah, if you're in tournament, I would ban this map. This is the map I would ban, hardcore. So we're just gonna put this down for people to know as backcapping. We'll also just kind of get this player to know that they can do this too. You can also come over here, get rid of wire, backcap, try to. Like, we'll let people know that there's options. Okay, let's be honest though, people. Dark Forest is not that bad of a map. It is just, it keeps you in a weird state of the game that most players don't like to stay in already, but it forces you to stay in it a lot longer than you want, which is so annoying. If you really wanted to, you could also just kind of, you know, mingle your way over here. People have done this. You know, people barbed wire me off of my own mine before. They will run an engineer over here. I won't notice it and barbed wire me off. And I will be so annoyed as they backcap me and then do that because I'm just like, oh my god. So stupid. So dumb. What else is there? There is medkits on this map, isn't there? We're going to go draw those in. There's a medkit right here. This is a medkit. For anybody that likes to use med tent. Air is actually not that bad. No, there is another medkit. I don't remember where it is. The other medkit is probably over here, I want to say. Don't take my word for this one yet. But we just won't show it because I'm not certain. I'm only certain about the one over there. Honestly, if anybody else knows anything else on this map, DM me what you do as an opening for this map because I would love to see it. If it's any different or if it's entirely different. Because this map just kicks me in the nuts every fucking time. There is one map I really wanted to get to. You know what? Let's finish typing up what we need to. I think I just fucked it up. Okay. Yellow. Some people do get confused with me and get annoyed with me that I don't. This is one map I definitely planned on redoing. Oh yeah, no. Orange is in a rough spot. Player B just kind of gets kicked in the nuts the entire game. For those that are interested in 2v2 maps, I believe we have one more 2v2 map that I need to go over, and then I'm going straight to 3v3s. Because the 2v2s, let's just start closing some of these. We have a lot open. This is where stuff starts getting heated. How many of these maps did I do? I did all of them but one. Ghost Town.